Alrighty, I have got all of the plastic around this kennel and weighted the bottoms down. The next one, get a couple of hoops and suspend this piece of EMT, and then I'm going to move some tomato plants over here. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work out. I'm just hoping and praying and wishing that we don't freeze in here the next few weeks and kill all these tomato plants. These are all the biggest seedlings out of the itty bitty baby greenhouse. There's Early Treat, Better Boy, Big Boy, some Early Girl, and I will come this evening and cover them up with the the frost cloth, and weigh it down, and hopefully we will be okay. Well, Mary here with Hi-Song Grows, bringing you Farmer Friday. Lots of things going on this week. Lots of tomatoes potted up into 4-inch pots, and more seeds planted, and little seedlings that just germinated put up into bigger soil blocks in the house under the light. What, honey? I know it's probably drizzling on you a little bit up there. Yeah, come on. Let's get done so you can go back in your snaggy place. What is your issue? Huh? You have snacks. Just because it's not the kind you want right this minute. No reason to be cranky. Anyway, lots of tomato plants. Over 400 tomato plants at this point, and more coming, along with some eggplant. I did get a few jalapenos to sprout. The peppers, especially the hot peppers, just don't like my house. It's just too cool in there. I have a couple of ideas to try for next year, but I can't do anything this year. We just get what we get. Lots of baby pak choi and Swiss chard out there in the garden. I picked quite a bit today, like 5 pounds of each. Digger has been doing a little better, running off leash. I've been trying to let him out earlier in the afternoon if I'm home early and working outside, where I can kind of keep an eye on him. No way do I trust him just loose in the yard all the time yet, especially like overnight, because I'm just really afraid he will like dig under a fence or something. So that's not going to come for a while. All the goats are doing really good. Esmeralda's getting to be as big as a house. She's huge. What is your issue? Yes, you let us know. I don't know. And everybody's doing really good. All our pens are really wet. It's been raining off and on all day, so I hadn't got a whole lot of stuff done out here today. Chickens are doing well. We have got egg production is up. So like today I actually got 32 eggs this afternoon. That's the most I've gotten since last year in one day. And that's out of 51 hens, so we're a little bit more than half. Sister, will you stop? I don't know if maybe there's sprinkles getting on her face over there because we aren't as enclosed and as rainproof in this area as we were in our other space. And part of that is because we have 3 gates on this pen, this new milking area. 1 for me to come in and out of, and 2 from in here into the goat pen. And the other space just had 1 gate that I used, so I could buy an extra large tarp and it would come a couple feet down on the sides, and that would help keep rain from blowing in. And so we'll live with this the way it is for a while, and then we'll see if we want to change anything. Come on, lid. Hate it when these lids get a little out of whack. There we go. What else is new? Let me think a minute. Oh, besides tomatoes and a few peppers, I started quite a few calendula plants, mostly because when I was putting the little tomato plants from the tiny soil blocks that I use on the heat mat into bigger soil blocks, if a variety didn't fill up a tray, I would just finish filling up the tray with calendula because it sprouts pretty quick at fairly cool temperatures and grows really well. It's really pretty. Because I have learned to not put 2 varieties of tomato seedlings side by side in the soil blocks in the trays, because invariably something will happen when I go to pot them up and I will get them mixed up, and that's not a good thing. Especially if they're completely different kinds, like a big giant slicing tomato and a little tiny cherry tomato. That's not a good thing, especially when you're selling plants. Everybody wants them to be exactly what they bought, and I don't blame them. So what I started doing this year is if I can't fill up the whole tray with that variety of tomatoes, then I plant something else. And I've planted a nice big packet of calendula seeds that way. And then I've also started a few herb seeds that way, things that I knew would be sprouting by the time the tomatoes in the tray needed to go into bigger pots. All right, cats. Hey, you guys behave. Is that your issue? Because the cats are in here, huh? You know those cats. They live here. They've been living here longer than you've lived here. Yes. Stop it. You crazy girl. Bambi, knock it off. We're almost done, sister. Let's see what else has happened this week. We had a little bit of rain, another day with some hail, but it wasn't even like a whole 1/10 of an inch. But it was kind of cold and windy and yucky like today has been. Though today we've gotten quite a bit more water. I can tell just looking at the ground. What? Huh? Let's see what else. Oh no. Just kind of lost my train of thought. It's raining and the goat's cranky. I'm listening to her belly rumble here, her rooming. No. We're almost done, and then you can have some peanuts. Okay. Lordy girl. It is supposed to clear off a little bit like later this evening and be nice for at least a few days, and then it might start raining again. I'm just really hoping we don't have any freeze. Now I remember. We have been right about 40 to 42 degrees at night, early in the morning. I had a couple mornings it was like, my thermometer said 38. But the tomato plants out in the little bitty greenhouse and in my new space under the heavy-duty frost cloth have been just fine. No sign that they're freezing or anything like that. But predictions for tonight are 37, which means that some parts of my property could actually get a light freeze. So I have already covered everything up and secured it for the night. So kind of holding my breath and crossing my fingers that nothing freezes in the tomato patches. So what, you need a little more snack? A little bit more snack. That's more of that. Well, no more peanuts. You had peanuts. You had your peanuts. Yes, you had your peanuts. Hold on, honey. All right. You want a brush? No? You want a brush? Everybody is shedding like crazy. Though Bambi's been worse than anybody else, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Oh, I'm been trying to brush her out. She's still got a few spots with all kinds of basically cashmere. Hi. I don't think we'll have too much rushing the gate right this minute because it is raining. And no goats want to come out in the rain. I guess if they live out on hundreds of acres or something, they get used to it. But these girls think they're going to melt if they get wet. Oh, goodness. What? Are you done? Nobody wants to get in the rain. It's raining quite a bit. They're all going to hang out in the little barn. What are you doing, Freya? What are you doing, Freya cat? You know, you have a whole house with shavings and a bowl of food and everything over in the other space. I know, Tinker Cat is kind of, well, actually, Freya Cat here is kind of cranky with Tinker Cat there, and they kind of fuss with each other. I'm pretty sure y'all got food over there. I'll check before I go in the house for the night. And now every evening I have to come and tuck in all the tomato plants under their frost cloth so that they don't freeze, because we have been close to freezing, like 36 degrees this morning, 34 yesterday morning. So this really helps protect them in here inside the little greenhouse. All of these look really good. These I transplanted into these bigger pots, oh, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks ago, and they're looking really good. Their leaves are coming in darker and greener because they're getting more nutrition in the potting soil, and that's good. The first thing I'm going to do is collect all the bigger empty pots that are like over there and everywhere, and I'm going to sort them according to size and stack them up in front of this gate area because I'm not using this gate right now. It's too hard to open up and stuff like that, so it's just a pallet wired up across the opening to keep the dog out. So until we get a nicer gate, I'm not using this end. I came out to feed and pick up eggs this evening, and I saw this hen, and she's up and around, she's eating and stuff, but she has a bloody butt, so we're going to check that out. All right, so I had noticed some blood on an egg a few days ago, but it was a good size egg, and I thought maybe somebody just kind of ripped a little bit when they laid it, but this is very concerning. Now, she's a good weight, and she's up eating, and she's not acting lethargic or anything like that. So, let's see here. We can focus. And it's not coming from her vent. It is down below her vent. This is really hard to do all by myself. See if I can get her situated here. So it looks like she's just got a little wound a little bit below her vent. Somebody might have been pecking at her. Maybe she had an ingrown feather or something that popped. That happens sometimes. So I have some AluShield I'm going to spray on her. Okay. So this is AluShield, and you should be able to buy this at, like, I get it at Tractor Supply, probably most feed stores. It helps seal off wounds. It helps deter flies and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna see if you can see. It's awkward in here. The wind is blowing like crazy. Oh, well, maybe the wind will be helpful. Blow the feathers out of my way. So we're going to just spray that spot. And you can see she has a nice shiny butt now. But that'll seal up the bleeding. And it will help keep other birds from pecking at her because there's no red there now. Around that wound, and it will help with healing, and we'll just keep an eye on her. There you go, sister. She ought to be feeling better and stuff in a few days. I will say today we did get a lot of eggs out of all the coops, and with the days getting longer, that's awesome. Though I have a rainstorm coming in, and I want to get done with chores before it hits. Okay, I thought I was recording a whole bunch of things earlier, and when I went to look at things, apparently not. So what happened was I was feeding the chickens. Digger was out free ranging, and I heard the chickens in the front yard alarm, and Digger ran that way, which the wind had come up a little bit, so I just figured that their tarp had blown around and startled them. Didn't think anything of it. But I got all the way finished with chickens, and Digger hadn't come back and joined me. And usually he does. You know, he might run, check something out, and then he comes to find me and see what I'm doing. And so I looked for him, I called for him, I yelled, I whistled, I looked around. I could not find him anywhere. And so the only thing I could think of is over in the front yard, there is a little short bit of fence. It's like only 4.5 feet tall. And now to this point, he has not shown any inclination to actually hop over it. He likes to stand up on it so he can see better, but he hasn't shown any interest in actually jumping the fence. But I thought maybe today was the day. So I was like, oh, well, whatever. He doesn't normally go very far. If he does get out, he usually hangs around right here in my canyon. So anyway, I went in the house for a bit, and then I was coming out to milk. And I thought, oh, the wind is coming up. I want my hat if it gets worse because my ears get cold. And I thought I had left my hat in the car. So when I opened the door, Digger almost knocked me down. Apparently, when I got a bag of feed out of the back of the car, I thought I had closed the hatch, but I hadn't. And apparently, when he jumped in and the car bounced a little with his weight, it did make the hatch slam shut on him. So I'm glad at least it wasn't, 115 degrees or something like that, because he was in there for a good while. And he was very happy to get out.